Yo, what's going on everyone? It's me, Mr. Prems, and One Piece 1009 is out. And what a chapter we got. The Zoro fanboy inside me jumped out a little whilst reading this chapter, so I had to rein myself in a little and compose myself before recording this review. But before I get started, as usual, please make sure you leave a like on the video as it helps me out so much with that YouTube algorithm. And make sure you subscribe to the channel so you never miss out when I drop more content just like this. Now the cover page is interesting, but I don't want to spend too much time on it, as I really want to talk through this chapter. But the main things I want to talk about here is that we have the Straw Hats putting these hats on these Jaizu statues, and the interesting thing here is that they're accompanied by Otama and Komachiyo. Is Oda suggesting Tama for Straw Hat? I'll leave that one to the theorists. The chapter's called Hell, and this most definitely was one hell of a chapter, as things started off with the dynamics around the Scabbards. So just to recap, last chapter we had Ashura Doji, who was left behind fighting Kanjuro, and then we had the arrival of Jack, and it was Inuarashi who stayed back to deal with Jack. But now in this chapter, the remaining Scabbards have come across Orochi and Fukurokuju, and it seems that both parties were really shocked here, as neither of them actually thought they'd run into each other. And so what was the outcome? Well, at this point Orochi refused to turn back, and he also refused to let Fukurokuju fight for him, stating that Kaido had already, quote unquote, softened them up. Now at this point, I don't know if Orochi was just talking smack to talk smack, or did he truly believe that he could take on 6 of the Scabbards by himself? Because as he transforms into his own form, with all of the heads popping up, each of the heads are quickly cut off by all the Scabbards. Once again, Shon Orochi getting one shot, with Denjiro explaining they don't have time to waste on it. And Kinemon goes on to say that he'd be judged in hell. So the question posed, is Orochi dead again? And if you're asking me, I'm not sold. I think he's alive. We then get this beautiful panel showing the face-off that we're about to get, and it's between Fukurokuju and Raizo. And this is going to be one hell of a clash. It's going to be the clash of ninjas. And I've started to come to some sort of realization that Oda seems to be picking off these Scabbards one by one. And so for all those who are theorizing about how one or more of them could die, I think it's very much a possibility. If Oda continues to split all of the Scabbards up, it's definitely a possibility that they can die. So let's watch this space and see what happens. But now we get into the juicy stuff, because we go back to the rooftop. And this has been what a lot of us have loved so much about One Piece over the past few chapters, because the rooftop has been hype. Kaido and Big Mom are having so much fun, and we found out last chapter that their teamwork is A1. And this most likely stems from their history of being in the same crew under rocks. And so it's very evident that they fought many battles together. But here we have Big Mom dictating to Kaido, saying let's try a combined attack. And so in my head, I'm thinking this is going to be some tag team shit. And Big Mom's like, I wonder how many of these 5 are going to be able to survive when we use this attack. And if we flip back to the last chapter, it was acknowledged that the 2 of them had to be split up. The Supernova acknowledged that Big Mom and Kaido together are a real problem. And in this chapter, Eustace Kid emphasizes that once more, as he asks Law to just move one of them out the way using his power. And Oda does something extremely brilliant here, as he provides some more explanation to Law's power. Law states he would have done that already if he could, but their Haki is too strong that he can't directly move them. And for such a broken power, I think it's only right that Oda will put some limitations on it, and I think this limitation was perfect. But here Big Mom and Kaido are charging up their joint attack, and this is foreseen by Luffy as they release a joint attack named Ocean Sovereignty. And Zoro, yes you heard me right, Zoro, he gets in the way and blocks this attack. Well, temporarily, at least to buy some time before Law quickly gets him out the way. And wow, this was fantastic. Oda has been playing on my heartstrings, but to give this moment to Zoro was perfect to me. And to me, it's actually more impressive than his cutting of Kaido. And then we get a few panels of the impact of this attack. And I kid you not, this was a beast of an attack. And even though this attack absolutely wiped out the supernova, Kaido and Big Mom could still sense their presence, so acknowledged that they were still alive. With the supernova all asking each other if they're all alright, in particularly Law to Zoro acknowledging that Zoro took most of this blow, Luffy has gone on the offense and he's actually talking some smack to Kaido. He's asking him why he's dodging his attacks. Is he worried that it will hurt? And this is actually great, because in this battle, Oda has not only shown us that Luffy has future sight on lock, but it seems that he's very close to mastering Rio too, since he's confidently attacking Kaido. But Kaido is no slouch, and we see more of his hybrid form, as he takes things up a notch, and he gets a little bit more serious with Luffy, and in order to do this, he takes him out with his attack, 3 Realms Ragnarok, moving like he's Thor. Now whilst this is occurring, it seems that the other supernova are dealing with Big Mom. And on my first read through, I didn't quite notice what was going on, but Law, Kid, Zoro and Killer have come up with a plan. Kid created a magnetized box made of metal, and Law was able to use his room abilities to trap Zeus inside the container-like structure. Zoro and Killer work together in order to cut Prometheus and Napoleon, which is absolutely crazy because Big Mom's main weapons are her personal homies, and now they've been removed from the equation. Big Mom, naive to the plan of the supernova, explains that just because she's lost them, it doesn't change a thing, as Kid shoots a heap of metal at her and receives a ridiculous blow to the face in exchange. However, he uses the metal that he's wrapped around Big Mom to repel her away into the sky, which was absolutely awesome when I was reading through this. And Law then goes on to use his ability to use a huge boulder to push Big Mom while she was repelled into the air. But Big Mom was not impressed. She states, "What's hitting me with a boulder going to do?" But she was unaware of something. She was actually being pushed off Onigashima. And as we all know, Onigashima is floating on the sea. As she calls out for Zeus to come and save her, she comes to the realization that he's been trapped. And this brings the chapter to the end. And what a way to close off the chapter. I can truly say I love this chapter so much. And the ending where Big Mom was removed from the equation, I can honestly say I did not see this coming. Oda has done fantastic to remove Big Mom from the equation. It was evidently and carefully thought through, and definitely a great way to separate the Yonko, and I'm all here for it. Now, do I think Big Mom dies? Well, not at all. It's more than likely that she's going to be reunited with her crew, or even Perospero acknowledging that she's dropped. But the one thing I don't want to see is the reintroduction of that amnesia plotline, because that is something that would ruin all of this. I think for me, there was quite a bit that happened in this chapter, and I might even want to touch on a few things separately once the official is released. But I guess I'll leave things as they stand now. Please remember to support the official when it drops on Sunday, and let me know down in the comments your thoughts on the chapter, your favourite moments, and anything you would change. But as usual, if you like anything I've had to say, please make sure you leave a like on the video, and if you like One Piece reviews, theories and discussions, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit bell notifications so you never miss out when I drop more content just like this. Say